Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Uncomfortably Obedient. Today I'm going to be continuing the series How Do You Identify? And the focus today is going to be feelings versus emotions. So we're going to be discussing the difference between the two, if any, and whether they have an impact on one's identity. So if you guys are ready, let's get into it. So to start off, what are emotions? So, emotions, by definition, are automatic, unconscious, and often instinctual physiological responses to internal or external stimuli. Where feelings, on the other hand, by definition, are conscious, subjective awareness of emotions shaped by personal interpretations, memories, and beliefs. So, in other words, emotions are natural, uncontrollable bodily reactions to events. So, an example of that would be when someone is scared, they experience changes in heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure, along with dilation of pupils and muscle tension. And this is due to the hormonal changes within the body. The surge of adrenaline that they're experiencing in that moment is the body's way of preparing itself to either face the danger or to try to escape it, aka fight or flight. Feelings, on the other hand, are associated with the person's memory or interpretation of an event. So, for example, let's say someone almost drowned as a child. Due to that experience, anytime that they're around large bodies of water, they feel anxious or uneasy. That person is consciously associating water with the fear that they felt during that event. And the same thing can be said of positive experiences. So, the surge of dopamine and endorphins, or the happy hormones that are released in the body during the event, now cause a positive association with the event. And therefore, the person consciously interprets that event with feelings of joy, happiness, or contentment. So, now knowing what it is that we know about feelings and emotions, do you guys think that they have an effect on someone's identity or how someone identifies? Me personally, I would say yes. Feelings absolutely do. And my reason for that is because if someone has negative experiences, it's more likely for them to have negative feelings about the world and potentially about themselves. So, an example would be, let's say that there is somebody who has suffered with PTSD or CPTSD or trauma or abuse or things of that nature. The way that they look at the world is going to be very different than somebody who has not had those experiences, because all of those negative experiences that they have undergone are shaping their reality. And then the same thing goes with positive experiences and positive feelings. The way that someone is conditioned to identify, it's deeply rooted in perception. And essentially, that's what feelings are, it's one's perception of events. Therefore, negative perceptions are more likely to have or cause negative self identity, and vice versa. Positive perception are more likely to lead to positive self identity. However, we must remember God's ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. What God says about us and what the world says about us are two completely different things. No matter how things might seem to mere man, God can make any negative to a positive. All we need is to have faith. In Luke 18 and 27, it reads, "But he said, the things that are impossible with people are possible with God." So I'm going to close out here, but I just want to leave you guys with a thought. We live in an imperfect world, and we are imperfect creatures, and we are surrounded by other imperfect creatures. So there are going to be things that happen in our life, and they're not always going to be positive. There are going to be negative experiences. We are going to face trials and tribulations, and those things are going to have an impact on us. They're going to leave an imprint on us. Some more than others, depending on the severity of the event and what exactly it is that they went through. But I'm saying all of this to say those negative events, those negative experiences do not define who we are. They are not a determinant of our identity. God identifies us. God is the one who gives us our identity. And God says that we are beautifully and wonderfully made. That's out of Psalm 139. So I say this to say, guys, keep your faith. Keep on praying. Keep on allowing for God to do the works in you. Keep on allowing to God or allowing for God to show you your true identity. And don't allow for external factors. Don't allow for past experiences. Don't allow for all of the background noise to trick you into coming into agreement with an identity that is not truly yours.